Hello friends, I am going to present a case of hysteroscopic correction of isthmosele. She is a young lady with the complaints of abnormal uterine bleeding, mainly in the form of post-menstrual bleeding. She's completed her family and wishes to preserve her uterus. And that's the reason why we have posted her for a hysteroscopic correction of isthmosele. On hysteroscopy, you will appreciate that there are two rings. One is the cervical ring and the other is the actual uterine cavity. And in between these two rings, on the anterior wall corresponding with the anatomical isthmus, the area of previous two caesarean sections, you will appreciate a big pouch or a defect, which is the isthmosele. You will appreciate there are areas of fibrosis, few Nebotian cysts. You have to rule out any abnormal endometrium. Also see for any adhesions and exactly locate the fibrotic areas as well as the ring which has to be cut. Otherwise, we cannot really make out how much tissue has to be excised on both the walls. There are actually two slopes, one slope at the uterine end and the other slope at the cervical end. So So actually now we can make out that the upper slope is not much as compared to the lower obstruction. So definitely I'll have to do a lot of excision at the cervical end and then as compared to the upper uterine part. So now we come with the Collins knife and I take a look at the cervical ring which I have to cut. So at the midway or towards the lower side, we start making releasing incisions to the fibrotic ring, which is actually obstructing the blood escaping through the cervical canal. So I'm always keeping a watch on the floor or the roof of the isthmosele, and exactly coinciding with the lower part, I am also cutting the upper ring. So, like I said, I don't have to do too much at the upper end, but here in the lower part, I'm trying to correspond with the isthmosele surface. I'm not doing complete correction right now because I know I have to release on the other side as well. So, it is a visual experience based part because I have to cut this to get exactly the thickness which I have to excise. There are no guidelines right now or there is no mechanism which will tell that okay you go zero point 0.5 or 1 millimeter or how much is to be exactly excised. So it's a visual thing. So this is the trick which I follow is I'll try to make releasing incisions and take an approximate idea that how much resection I have to do at the lower end so as to flatten the slope to allow the blood to escape. Okay, now we come with the resectoscope and I'm going to do some flattening of the upper pole. Here you can see not much work. I'm taking small strips and trying to correspond it with the isthmosele. I'm not cutting it into the isthmosele area. So here very little work has to be done. Now as I come to the lower ring, here I am bold enough because I know I have made the releasing incisions and I know how much thick cuts I can take. So it is exactly trying to remove that constricting ring and make it flushed with the isthmosele surface. We do not go at the isthmosele with electrosurgery because if I try to cut at the isthmosele area, it's a very thinned out area. It can perforate and I could inadvertently injure the bladder and or might create a fistula as well, vesicovaginal. So no electrosurgery at the isthmosele site. Here, as I come towards the end, I become very steady and I start taking very thin releasing or incisions and very thin areas are cut. So here you will see most of the times I am doing a trial run of how much I am going to excise. So a little bit more has to be excised. Okay, now it's almost flushed with the isthmosil. A little area here. Slightly under correction is better than over correction because it can be a dangerous move. So now it's almost done on this side. So if I see on the other side, here again I feel a little bit of area can be excised. Now coming to the left wall, yeah, I can see some ring area can be seen. I still see there is a defect, there's a gap between the isthmosil and the ring. So I go come along with the isthmosil and I make it flushed with the isthmosil wall. So we are basically flattening the slope and not allowing the blood to stay in this area, so that after menses she won't have blood collection and that would not bleed like a post menstrual blackish bleed. Thank you very much for your patient watching.